Now, after him, my 7 and maybe 7 tied picks here. Giants receivers. Let's talk about Wan'Dale Robinson, the one I would target the most, but also do want to mention Jalen Hyatt, 9% rostered. He had some intriguing usage that could carry over to a bigger role. We'll break them both down here. But I think both these guys, despite how bad this Giants offense has been, I mean, the fewest points in the league, 11 points per game right now, the fewest pass yards. They haven't even hit 140 passing yards in 3 out of their 4 games. It has been abysmal. Well, why would I ever care about a receiver in this offense? Are you kidding me? It's hideous. Well, let's talk about these guys because I do think if this offense can finally find its footing, it will likely be because of Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt earning some better roles. Now, Daniel Jones, we know, has historically loved his slot weapons, and Wan'Dale Robinson, after returning in week 3, he only ran on 11 routes, but saw 5 targets, 40% targets per route run. Then week 4, he played ahead of Paris Campbell for that slot role. Campbell still mixed in, but just to show you how much Danny Jones loves that slot, Wan'Dale led the team in targets with 6, and then right behind him was Paris Campbell, and he was only a 30% snap player. We saw Wan'Dale's role go up to a 63% of the routes. Again, 20% target share as well. 5 catches, 40 yards on the day. Nothing massive, I understand. But wide receiver 35 in PPR leagues, despite this limited still pass role. Now, if he does ultimately take over that full-time slot role, and we get the Andrew Thomas back at left tackle, Saquon's back, and this offense gets its footing again, we've seen how valuable this slot role can be. In fact, Wan'Dale last year, the game before he went out, really almost exclusively in the first half, he had 13 targets, 9 catches, and 100 yards. Was the wide receiver 9. And again, that was in less than 3/4 of action. And 3 of his 6 active games last year, he had 11 or more fantasy points. Wide receiver 9, 29, and 35 finishes. And we just saw him kind of matching that type of production this last week as the role gets more and more up. Now, when Wan'Dale went out, that's when Richie James became that full-time slot guy last week. And from week 11 to the end of the season, Richie James was the wide receiver 12 in fantasy football. It was insane. He went from 3 targets to 6, 3, then 9, 5, 13, and 7, and ultimately rounded that to, again, the wide receiver 12, a true wide receiver 1 finish for Richie James. And if Richie James can do that, you've got to imagine Wan'Dale Robinson, high-end second-round draft capital, the training camp stud of last year, MVP. And I know we don't get fantasy points for training camp MVPs. I get it. But, man, Peter King, everybody that observed camp came away blown out of the world with Wan'Dale Robinson. And we've seen those glimpses. He truly could emerge, especially considering Paris Campbell has just absolutely blown. Slayton's done really little so far. These roles are up for grabs in this offense. They clearly need to find something to build around with Daniel Jones, who they're committed to for better or worse these next 4 years, that $160 million contract. They might as well. And we saw it this week, them start to turn over the keys to these younger guys, including, as mentioned, Jalen Hyatt, 9% roster. Now, his night was not quite as productive. 2 catches on his 2 targets, just 10 yards. So nothing you're going to write home about there. But the big thing was he played more routes and snaps than Hodgins, who was only at 41%. Campbell, as mentioned, only 39%. It seems like they are starting to clear the path away for Hyatt, who did see 59% of the routes this last week and all training camp. The biggest playmaker there is, deep bomb after deep bomb. And he does have that special type of breakaway speed. They traded up to get Jalen Hyatt, won that wide receiver, best receiver in college football at Tennessee. And the talk is, was he just a system scheme guy, or can he actually get it done at the NFL level? We will find out. And as I said, it is dangerous to invest overly in this offense, but there is the chance they get it together. And I think if they do, it'll be on the backs of Wan'Dale Robinson and also Jalen Hyatt. So those guys kind of tied in 7th here, and nobody's really going to be looking to them after these Giant struggles. So yeah, I say 3 to 5% bad. You probably won't need to bid a single dollar to go out and get. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.